I just turned my new Marin Rift Zone into a mini-mullet setup. This is a 130mm travel trail bike modded with a 26-inch wheel on the back, and I'm gonna see if it can take on the Mega Drop. I haven't even rode this bike yet. These will be my first rides on the bike, and it should be pretty rowdy. Things really ramp up near the end of the video, so make sure to watch until the end. This is a good one. Okay, back to visualizing how smooth this was the first time I did it. Chill and focus, and it'll be mint. Okay, drop. Okay, the Mega Drop went so smoothly on the downhill bike, I figured I could probably hit it on my smallest trail bike I owned, and I just finished building this thing up. It's a mini mullet. So it's the Marin Rift Zone. You got 130mm travel in the rear, 140 up front, and a 26-inch wheel in the back, 27.5 in the front. I just love mullet bikes. I typically don't run mullet on 27.5 or smaller, but I figured why not throw a dirt jump bike size wheel in the back and see how it rides on a big line like the Mega Drop. So I'm pretty fired up to try this out. It's gonna be pretty gnarly, and I have a pretty unique build on this. It's kind of like a slope Duro setup. So I've set it up for bar spins. I used a 1-up headset tool to run the front brake directly through the headset, and then to clean up the cockpit and keep things more straightforward, I threw the dropper lever on the frame instead of on the handlebars, so it's mounted to the frame where the water bottle cage would normally be. And yeah, it feels pretty good so far. I've just pedaled it around the street, so I haven't even rode this bike yet. It's completely fresh. But we're gonna warm up on some trails around Cumberland to start off the video, and then jump right into the Mega Drop. It's gonna be a gnarly day. I have just pedaled to the top of Sphagnum PI, one of my favorite trails here in Cumberland, and this bike, it actually climbed surprisingly well. It didn't feel too slacked out at all. Maybe because I've been on the longer travel bike lately on the Alpine, and it doesn't climb as well as like a shorter travel, more rigid bike. One thing though that made it hard, and I didn't think about, and it was so dumb, is I have it so my cranks can't spin very easily. What I've done is put on this rubber band and then zip tied it. It creates some friction and some resistance, so the pedals don't spin around as easily when I do tail whips, because that is the main reason for the setup, is for tail whips. Although bar spins are an easier trick and way more common, I'm actually more comfortable with tail whipping stuff, and I've always wanted to tail whip on a trail bike, and that's why we have this setup today. But yeah, that was not smart. That made the climb a little harder, and it's hot out. I think I had my heart rate over like 150 for a lot of that climb there. Whew, okay. Well, let's drop in, get a full lap in before going to the Mega Drop, get a feel for the bike. It's gonna be a lot of fun. This is set up way stiffer than any of my other full suspension bikes right now, but the one thing I'm checking is that it's even. Now it's gonna make the biggest difference. Okay, let's go. Oh my god. I also need to bed in the brakes. Oh, this bike bounces around like crazy in a good way. Okay, so went through the travel on that little drop. Probably have to set up the suspension stiffer for the Mega Drop. My rebound's a little fast too. Yeah. Oh, crazy. 26 on the trails, it's been a minute. Oh, everything is so easy to clear. Okay. Yeah, that was rad. Let's slow down the rebound a little bit. That was scary. That's better. Now I'm at the top of 6-pack, which is just a short jump trail with 6 jumps. They're all kind of small blind step downs, but they have 0 case pad. So they're kind of gnarly actually. And yeah, the trail gets pretty fast and rowdy at the end. It's so funny. I didn't like have the bike dialed at all. Like the brakes weren't bedded in and really locking up for the first part of that trail up there. Suspension was way too bouncy. Had to dial down the rebound. But I think we're a little more fine-tuned now. Let's wrap up the trail riding with this. Stoked. Oh, loose conditions tonight. Oh, yep. Almost washed out there. Oh, rabbit. Oh. Crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna row bob now to my truck, bed these pads in a little more. Up to the mega drop we go. Okay, back out at the mega drop now on the mini mullet, and I'm here with Mat Wanbon today. We're gonna shoot some photos on the line and hopefully hit this thing nice and smooth on the small bike. It's gonna be intense feeling. I'm actually more nervous about the run-in because that initial steep section is very loose on the downhill bike. It's gonna be pretty rowdy on the little mini mullet, and my brakes still don't feel fully bedded in yet, so they're gonna be squeaky today. Okay, here's the very top of the line. It's a really steep approach, and last time I rode this was on my downhill bike in tacky conditions. Today is loose on the small bike. It's gonna be a lot rowdier, and it's really hard to see on video, but controlling your speed through here is pretty challenging. You gotta really creep off the edge and then throttle your pace all the way off that first step down right down there, which is also a really steep landing into a tight S-turn. So however this goes will really dictate how I'm going to approach the drop further down. Okay, drop. Whoa! Oh, that's intense. Oh, and it's so dry right now too. And my brakes squeaking. I mean, they're gonna stop, but whew, that's gnarly. This right here is so soft and chunky. It's like minimal traction. And then just, I caught it nice, but it was pretty on the edge. All right, I'm pretty comfortable because I've rode this before. Couple of things are making it a little more intense, not just the bike. Like the smaller bike is definitely throwing me off with the speeds, the brake power, how it will handle the impact. But then this run-in and setup is really loose today, and then right before the takeoff it's running really fast. And what I learned the day that I hit this for the first time was that I didn't have to go quite as fast as I expected. I have a feeling the smaller bike's gonna roll faster. I would hate to go a little too deep on the little bike. So let's start off by taking a run-in from here, from the landing of step down number 1, feeling it out, and then calculating it from there. This has to be very calculated, very thought through. Safety is the #1 priority here. Okay. Okay, just doing a run-in. Drop. Okay, so lots of room to stop here. I just want to run in first from lower down. It's only been like a little over a week since I had that crash at the whip off at Reese's event, and my wrist is pretty sore today. I'm pretty sure I have a light sprain of the wrist. So I'm being pretty mindful of like any sort of big impacts right now and how to approach them. And this is my first day of riding anything other than like cross-country riding in a week and a half. Okay, back to visualizing how smooth this was the first time I did it. Chill and focus, and it'll be mint. Okay, drop. Whoa! Oh yeah, I can still stop. I can go a lot slower on this bike. Wow. Landing is really smooth. It's the speed that is spooky. I'm like, I think I might come up short, and then I just like sniped it fine. Yeah. Yeah, I grabbed a lot of brake before that lip. A lot more than the first time I rode this. Maybe I just need a bigger gap now. So add some style into it. Nice and slow. Oh. Oh. That was hard to stop that time. Oh. A little nosy. That was intense. Let's see how that looked. I'm kind of scared to keep riding it that way because I'm making the drop more intense. I'm like popping out and down and like more of an impact. Yeah. It feels so rowdy. It probably looks awesome on video. Yeah, let's see the photo for that one.
I did the high-speed shot, so I got that frame.
Oh, whoa, that's really cool.
And then there's that frame too, which is actually like...
Well, that's really sick, man.
Yeah, your style
Jeez,
really
that's like the shot, I think, hey?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I think that one might be it, yeah.
That's super sick.
Yeah.
I like that. I like how I always floated off the top. My wrist is starting to really feel sore from those last couple impacts. Whipping the drop out a bit, lying deep and a bit nose heavy is pretty rough on the small bike. So I'm not going to do too many more of those. But before I get out of here, my goal is to get one really smooth, full top to bottom run of the whole line. And we'll call it for the session. So let's start from up here at the very top. The tricky part will be to control my speed the whole way through, because this naturally gives you so much speed to the point where not blowing this first corner is hard, and then you really got to slow down for the drop or the step down, and then that steep roller after scrubs your speed really well. But I'm still gonna have to grab a lot of brake to not go too deep on the drop right now. Yeah, this will be intense. I love seeing the whole trail from up here. Just remembering what it looked like before I started versus now is such an insane difference. It's crazy what your imagination can do. This is why I love making trails. Just look what you can create. It's so sick. All right, let's go get a full pull of this whole lap. Drop. Went slower that time. Sick. The mega drop has been conquered on the mini mullet. So sick. The impacts were a bit gnarly, but other than that, it went really well, and I'm pretty stoked right now. So that's a wrap. Matt crushed the photos. Really sick session out here. All right, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.